What's happening, everybody? So, got my glue and just going right along. Gotta glue the plywood down. Butt ends here. Got my plywood nice and sticky. Get my stiles. Nice and wet there. So I'm really getting it in the deep corner there. Rabbit seam. It's like a tongue, rabbit tongue. I guess, I don't know, maybe they call that a butt lat. I forget the terminology. Some things I just haven't done so long, I just completely forget some of the terminology. Makes me feel silly, but when you do everything to a home, you gotta know everything all the time. Sometimes you just forget things. You go, oh, hey, what was that again? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, so before I get going too crazy, I just want to take this, clean up the lowers, the bottom, all the finished edges that shouldn't have glue on them. This needs just a little more. Okay. So now take myself, of course. Okay. Now we're just putting it together. I'll grab the initial glue that's wanting to squeak out of there. This will be set overnight. And I have HVAC, so it's forced air, which is going to be perfect for this. Just a wet rag. It's glue is water soluble. Okay, so now I get my framing square here. Beautiful. Okay. So now I'll put weight on top of this. And that will keep my rabbets from flaring. And now it's time to clamp. Just wipe off the glue here. Whoops. Okay. So I gotta get some weight. This ought to do it for that little drawer face, not much. I just need a vise. Okay. I'm gonna get it nice and square and centered right in the middle. Now remember, I will be sanding all this once it's dry. Get it flush, center. Doesn't need to be super strong. Matter of fact, the more I squeeze, the more it's going to want to flare. Just going to check. Nice. Don't want to have to do it, but it looks looks like I do have to do it. Because this board is not cut long enough. I need to get the ends of that flared down. They're not flaring right now, I don't want it to happen ever. So that's gotta twirl. Check. Oh, it looks good. So that will just sit there all night long, just like all those. I got one more to do. Okay. And that will be, hopefully, my suppression of flaring. So, where's my glue? There we go. Again. Plywood first. Oh, I gotta make sure I got the right side up. Okay. So I'm just hitting the butt end. I'm trying not to let anything touch the bottom, but it's almost impossible. And it kind of goes faster if you just kind of don't even worry about it, really. There we go. 2 more sides to go here. Now this is where it gets tricky, because I could make a big mess, and I don't want that. I need to fill the grains on the plywood and try to get the air out of them. That's basically why I'm painting it on, and it gives it a nice even surface area. There. So basically that'll just sit there and start curing up. Get these joints, get the air out of the corners. Putting the glue where the air is so that it has a grab. It'll actually, when it does make contact, it'll actually adhere. Okay. Ooh, I almost forgot. I think these are butt laps. Like, I don't know. It's almost like tongue and groove, but it's like a shiplap. I don't know. I just know how to do it. That's all. Get it done. Get it done. One more to go. Really laying this on, getting it in that crack, because that glue will hold this crack nice and sturdy. If I don't, it'll weaken it. Well, it'll just be weak because it could splice later on in the future. And we don't want that to happen. But we need glue up here. Yes. Yes. We want plenty of glue on that joint. And there we are. So, clean my hands a little bit. I'm gonna take this puppy out. Wipe this off on the bottom. Okay. Just clean this wherever you don't want glue. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Cleaned up. So now we're just going to lay that down. Well, let's get off that center seam of this table. Lay that in, lay this in. Wow. Squishing out a lot of glue. Okay. Use that joint. That's weird. Doesn't look. Just gotta get any of that sawdust out of the area. I'll get a knife here. I'll re-glue. See all that? That'll stop it from setting, I guess. Okay. Almost. Okay, so that depth was off. It was throwing everything off just a hair. This just happens to be thicker as well. But now that's sitting flush, and I can fix the depth of these when I sand them. But yeah, at least that's not flaring as bad. Come on now. There we go. Nice. Still a little thick, but at least my board will hit this. Okay, I need my square. Check. Check. Beautiful. Perfect. Perfectly square. Now, to somehow well, I need to clamp these together, but I have ran out of vices because a lot of my vices were stolen. So I will have to try another way. Well, I guess the only way is just to literally put everything I got into it, I guess. And then I'll weigh it down. It is what it is. I've got a bunch of smaller vices, but they won't work on this. Now there it is. Now I gotta weigh down. Start with this, shut that off. And let's try this. I think that's enough. We could get more, I guess. I do have more metal. Use the rails. Ooh. Whoops. Arr. There we go. Set it and forget it. Check them. Yep, everything's flat on the table, nothing's flaring out. See that edge on this side? It's touching. It's perfect. Well, there it is, guys. So I've got cabinet doors. Another third one over there. Got all my cabinet drawer faces glued. I haven't screwed anything yet. I don't know if I'm going to. I will cross that bridge when I get there. I want to see how this glue does before I go, you know, too crazy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate your time. And remember, this is just one part of a huge build. Not really huge, but for me, for one man, I can say this, it's taken me about 8 months so far and I'm still not done. So we got black granite here. Beautiful black granite. I'm gonna have to fill those holes, but I got it for free. It's a rental. I think it'll be fine. I've got Corian with an undermounted sink coming, double sink, with the spout style single swan style faucet, I think that's called. I've built some custom shelving, which I think lifts the place up and tries to, you know, give it more, it just feels more open. We've put everything I've got into this place. I mean, those are all dadoed in, rabbited over. So all these edges are sticking in 1/4 of an inch, just that thin, to hide the edge. Same with those. Quarter round. Everything is sealed behind and underneath all seams. Even the mop board here, I did a single mop board and I ran a level line with a laser and I brought it over here. So this is the same height the whole way across. I got some PVC Royal casement trim to match all the doors. And I gave it a custom shelving in here as well. That was made out of 3/4 quarter round. I just shaved it down to 1/2 inch. But yeah, all looks pretty nice. I've had this for over 10 years. These were all looking like that before, and I went and sprayed them. I ended up putting this into his room because his old vent was just clogged off, blocked, and forgotten. So I had to add that. I'll be painting that and probably trimming around them. Like right here, all that used to look like that. I didn't want that over the kitchen sink. There's something about it that just kind of bugged me. So I blocked it in, some box trim, quarter round and cornice molding. As you can see, there was a couple of spots where I have to mud and over my doors. That's my electrical highway. That'll all be painted. All the wood up there will be painted. I'll spray everything again. Over here, threw a light in. There'll be a curtain rod going across. All that's all done up custom nice. That's the exit for the dryer vent. I put all these windows in. That one. And isn't that nice? It's like a 12-inch box. I was like, wow, that'd be really cool if I did a drywall return. It makes it like a shelf, you know? And that door, that window over there as well. But see, the guy at Home Depot gave me the wrong measurements. Told me that he had 32s, but he really only had 30s. So I went there, I built it, I went there and they didn't have them. They were supposed to save them for me. Or he just gave me the wrong, you know, whatever. I told him I needed 5 doors, how many lefts, how many rights. Yup. And then I get there and it was just a mess. So I've repurposed this cabinet. This cabinet was a lot wider over here and a little bit wider over here. This floor took me like 4 days grinding with a 14-inch wet skill saw, basically a concrete cutter. And I had to grind down a bunch of rises. There was a big one here, big one there, big one there for a ramp, big one over here. It was just everywhere. And then about 8 bags of self-leveler, and I leveled off here, leveled there, leveled there, leveled this whole area, leveled that whole area, leveled that whole area. And this was the biggest. I put about 4 buckets just from here going that way, because the concrete just cracked right across. So I self-leveled all the way in. It was 4 inches high in the back compared to where it was here. So I lifted that. I mean, just the rise right here going into the cabinet, you take 1 step towards the sink. And after so many months of us feeling that drop, now that I walk here, it feels so nice to have it all level. And this flooring, I put this flooring in, and that's why I made sure it was all level. I was just going to paint it, but my real estate agent told me, no, you gotta put a floor in. And so I also made a template for my Corian countertop. That was quite a bit. It took a whole day, but we got that done. And I've built this cabinet out to what it is now. It was just 2x4s, and I've had to completely gut it. I gutted all the shelves. I put panels in the back. I reinforced outsides. Basically, everything from all the sides, all the fronts was all redone. The only thing that I kept was the back walls. And like I said, they didn't have that beadboard paneling. It was just 2x4s with CDX plywood in the back. And yeah, so it was quite a bit. I put all the doors in. I built all these walls. None of these walls were here. It was just an empty room with a post holding the center beam. Before I built any walls, I jacked up the center beam. It was 2.5 inches higher from the outside edge to even right there and over there. So, and then it dropped even more. So it was just crazy. But we jacked it up as much as we could. And then I started building my walls underneath it. So I did my center wall first, dropped my layout, built that out, got the house secure, and then I started laying over my partition walls or bedroom walls, whatever. But it was cool because that closet weren't there at all. That opening was on the other side through this hallway, and I swapped it out so this room had a bedroom. And then I designed this room so that we'd have somewhat of a living room. I'd keep that nice big picture window letting light in here, but also blocking that off and giving that a closet for that bedroom. So that was a huge help. Stove will go here, fridge here. I tried to get this just one shorter and have it come to like here, but we fought it and fought it and fought it. I wasn't going to play any more games. I don't know if there is even a stud there. We tried like hell finding that goddamn stud. I might have just bent over a little bit, but it wasn't going to work for our spacing of our shelving. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do this. And there'll be a space between the fridge, and then that'll give an outlet for if you want to use your whisker over the stove. So it gives a little bit more room in between. But yeah, I mean, the place is small. I went with a light flooring so that it doesn't feel so blocked and closed in. If I went with a darker flooring, it would have just felt like, closing in on you. And I laid the boards vertical going with the house so it feels longer. And yeah, it was just I designed everything here. Everything you see. It was just an empty room, concrete floor. No windows on the walls. This was all gray HVAC. I went around and sealed every single gap with polyurethane, Shermax. And I did that to make sure that the heat around the house is getting dispersed correctly, but also to shut down the sound. It closes off the sound. Any little crack, gap, anywhere, and it moves the sound quite a bit. 75% of the noise you hear from a different room is coming from, even if the door is shut, it's coming from underneath the crack. So that little crack gives you 75% of the noise. It's kind of crazy. And before I shut my highway down for my electrical highway, I took Pink Panther R15, I believe. It was just 2x4 by 16 footers, 16-foot rolls. And I took a stick and I jammed it all the way down. So I pushed that Pink Panther way down in, and there was already some older fiberglass insulation. I wanted to do it on this side, but at least I got that exterior wall done, and I gave a little bit of sound barrier in between the bedrooms, because there's bedrooms above and there's bedrooms above both. So, and there's a dining room above this, so it helps a little bit. But these registers, and they're just, this here has another, there's a register like right here, so the sound travels quite a bit. So I'll figure something out there, but soon there'll be a wall right here going into a door, and then a wall here going into another wall. So it'll close this whole maintenance area off, and the people will have a nice hallway. I'll have this all drywall, you know. It'll either be drywall or it'll look like this. We'll have the beadboard. But yeah, I'll drywall the ceiling for sure. But they'll have a nice, nice hallway with trim around the door to go into their laundry room, and all this stuff will come out. This is just because I'm doing work and my garage burnt down, so there's no friggin' room for anything. As soon as I'm done with this apartment, I'm building another shed. But I did a lot of work to this room too. I trimmed everything off, painted everything. I sanded down the stairs. I even trimmed up there. I mean, made this place look really nice compared to what it was. Painted it all white first, and then I came in and I actually ripped 2x4s into two. So each one of these were 2x4s that I ripped into trim. And yeah, got out of it pretty cheap actually. So made myself a little tool room. That felt good to have all my tools kind of all in one spot. But anyway, yep. I'd say the rant is over. I just can't wait to get this done here, and then I'll be able to put nice tile backsplash, put my Corian countertop in, mud any of these weird areas, tape these off, or just take them off completely and paint. I have to paint all the mop board. It'll look nice though. I may just skate out of it and only paint the door trim and the door, maybe. I don't know, maybe I won't paint it at all. I'd like to, but time is of the essence, I'll tell you. Anyway, we're getting there. It's getting close. Yeah, I ran all the plumbing. I ran some of the electrical. I wasn't going to run all of it, but my electrician said that they could do it quick and do it right. And I said, hell yeah, let's get that done then. I had put all the boxes in where I wanted them, and I brought most of the material. Bought way too much of the stuff that I didn't need, but they saved me a lot of money, put it that way. And yeah, really good guys, those electricians. And Plumbers were just so busy. Plus the job was just a weird job. My buddy came from South Bristol, 6-hour drive that day, and we worked our ass off, and we got all this plumbing, all the venting, all the drain pipes, all done in one day. The only thing we didn't do, which wasn't even having nothing to do with this apartment, it was running this PVC, which obviously you can tell a rookie did it, because that's not supposed to be like that. I'm gonna have to fix it actually. Anyway, that was for the washing machine, and I ran all that myself. Washing machine upstairs, I gave them a stacker so that they didn't have to share washer and dryer. But yeah, I got a new water tank in. Ended up getting a rebate on that. That water tank, I got it for $450. Saved $900 on that. $9 or $950. But yeah, and then people said, dude, that's a junk one. I don't know. It looked pretty. It was the best one there, so I got it. The plumbing's all hooked up. I ran all the PEX myself. Every PEX here you see, I ran everything. I put the shower in. I built the shower base, built the toilet base. So we had to build these up because the main drain to the septic is just too high, and we couldn't lower it. So we just went with that height, gave it the plumber's, 1/8 of an inch every foot or whatever it is. You know, you just use the torpedo level, and it's got the different beveled angles for the level on a plumber's level. And just digging these trenches for both, it looked like a cactus. It went straight, then an arm, and then an arm in to the shower. Just digging those, I ended up digging literally 6 inches deep everywhere, and it became like I didn't have to do not even a quarter of it. The pipe ended up having to be way up here. But I'm just glad I didn't have to build this whole room into another floor. I don't mind the base. It doesn't, I mean, it kind of feels weird to be up here to poop, but it'll have to do. Going up into the shower actually feels nice. It doesn't feel weird at all. Yeah, all this is AZEK. All this here too. All that, everything. Anywhere, I even put this cove molding around the bath vanity. So I still have to plumb that out. And once the countertop's here, I'll plumb that out as well. I got my toilet. I had a toilet, but it has a crack in it. So I said, to hell with it. I bought a new toilet. That was $100. And it's not a bad toilet at all. It's got one of the push buttons, so you can do like half flow or full flow. My other apartment has one, and they actually liked it a lot. So for $100, all this money I'm putting in this place, I don't mind giving it a new toilet. And then I'll have a backup toilet for maybe my camp or something. I don't care if my camp, you know what I mean, has a little tiny crack in the side of it, but anyway. I put that shelf up too. That was kind of neat. I had extra shelving brackets and some extra board already done up, so it kind of flows that stuff. So when you walk in, you kind of look left and you go over here, and I actually met that in the middle, so pretty sure I met it in the middle. I shot a laser from here all the way over. It might be at that top height. I don't know. I may have come down a little bit. I forget. Anyway. Yeah, my job's done for the day. I've got my doors done and my drawer faces all settling in and curing overnight. Pretty stoked. Those two sat last night as well. I had to do this door yesterday morning, but it might not be over. I may still have to put some screws in, screws and bungs, or plugs, whatever you want to call them. And I have that. I do have it here. They're all right here. I used to have the big Craig jig, and I brought it back. Never even used it. I got it for a job and then I never used it. And I said, what the heck? You know what I mean? Because now I need one. And I had the big kit, like the big kit. Anyway. So I'll put my glue up. Make sure that doesn't go overnight. I left it last night and it did fine, but isn't that cool how that just sits in there? Just sits right in there perfectly. All right. I'll catch you at the next one. Like and subscribe. Main Man Squanto. Out.